The pedigree of an American Staffordshire Terrier goes back, I'm just saying, one dog, two dogs, whatever it is, goes back to the 1800s and go back to American Pitbull Terriers. So you have some guys that say, well, if the dogs go back to American Pitbull Terriers, that means that the American Staffordshire Terrier and the American Pitbull Terrier are the same breed. That's the logic thinking about, from those guys. And I'm going to debunk that, but it's absolutely not true. The truth is that the American Pitbull Terrier came from pit dogs. There were mixed dogs already in the UK, already in other countries. By the time they got here, they were fighting dogs from different strength of terriers, different strength of all bulldogs. Not a specific, you cannot pinpoint it to a specific dog, but they were mixed dogs, and that's correct. When they came to America, in America, they were taken and they started to develop them for a particular type of dog that was bred for fighting. They discovered those dogs were amazing pets, courage, different things at different level. And those dogs that they developed in America at one point looked very different than the dogs they had in the UK. They looked very different than the original dogs that came to America. Collectively, nothing happens right away. So it took a few dogs coming here, a few dogs coming there, 5-10 years apart, whatever. So it took almost 100 years, once you go to the mid 1850s, when the importation of those dogs, the development of those dogs. By the 1900s, those American Pitbull Terrier dogs, some of those were taken and they were mixed into dogs from the old continent. Though they were not part of the American Pitbull Terrier already, they were part of their own dogs. And those dogs, some of them were blue-colored dogs or gray-colored dogs or whatever you call them. They had nothing to do with the American Pitbull Terrier. They were not part of the development process. You have to know that in order to be part of the American Pitbull Terrier, it has to be part of the development process. Like, I got a dog from Chico Lopez, I got a dog like Chico Lopez. No, you don't. If it's not developed by Chico Lopez, the 34 years of selection, whatever, then your dog does not belong there because more than likely Chico rejected your dog. It's the same thing. So when you go and look at those dogs that they were brought into America by the AKC and the breeders that wanted to go through the project of creating a dog called American Staffordshire Terrier, Staffordshire is a town in the UK. So those dogs were imported into America, mixed with American Pitbull Terriers established, so they didn't want to give the courtesy to the founder of the UKC to be a guy that make his own breed. So they wanted to cut his throat and make a dog that they were going to work to make it more popular. And eventually, the American Pitbull Terrier, according to their plans, was going to diminish, was going to stop to exist. So they made a weaker version of the American Pitbull Terrier into a show dog. They do the AKC does that to all the breeds. Take a look at the doggo. You look at the doggo show dog, it's absolutely a mud, weak compared to the hunting dog of the Doggo Argentino. And so they destroy every single breed. You can study that in another video by yourselves. But the AKC does that. They get judges, and that's what he does. They have a standard. The standard gets created from a dog that was created by a working process. Think about this. And so that's exactly what happened. So the American Pitbull Terrier is part of the genetic program of the American Staffordshire Terrier. But the Staffordshire Terrier is not part of the American Pitbull Terrier. Let me repeat this back to you. And a Staffordshire Terrier can have blood from American Pitbull Terriers that goes back to the 1800s. But the real American Pitbull Terrier do not have blood that comes from the American Staffordshire Terrier. Some slick breeders, because in the American Pitbull Terrier you got peddlers at every level. Some people that had American Pitbull Terriers, when they seen the boom of American Staffordshire Terriers and everybody wanted to have one, and because they look so much alike, they will say, I'm a breeder of American Staffordshire Terriers. And they will pass on their puppies as American Staffordshire Terriers. So there's always been a mess. Every time there's a mess, is always based on greed. A registration will destroy the breed based on greed, based on money. A magazine will destroy their dogs based on money. A breeder will destroy their dogs based on money. A lot of the breeders that participated on the project of the first band dogs mixed with pit bulls and so on and so forth, they took the name knowing that those were not real pit bulls, and they did it for profits. I knew a lot of guys that dropped the breed, moved into the bullies, and some of them are now into the Frenchies, and some of them are into something else. These guys, they go from one dog to another dog, whatever the profit is to get the dogs. They call themselves dogmen. for whatever reason, but they're not dogmen on American Pitbull Terrier, because within the American Pitbull Terrier, the game dog, the real dog, dogman is something that is earned. You cannot be a dogman because you're a dog owner. Now you're learning, and you're learning right here with Chico Lopez. Hope you have a great day. I don't mean to be hard on you guys, but this is the way I am. And it needed for me to be this way in order for me to survive all the BS, weed through all the trash, get the right concepts, the right understanding, so I can pass on this information to you so you can become a more knowledgeable American Pitbull Terrier owner. And if you want to become a breeder, I would recommend you not to become so, because I've seen 100,000 people that wanted to become a breeder. They all failed. God bless you. My name is Chico Lopez. 123pitbulls.com. Share this message to people that might care, that you care about them, and they're willing to get some knowledge. Thank you. God bless you. Nothing but the best. Only the best. Let's not even talk about the rest.